Christian, great to meet you. Thank you so much for taking time to speak to us here at Nordic FinTech Week. Before we start, for those that have not had the pleasure of meeting you, tell me briefly who you are and what you do.
Thanks for having me. My name is Christian. I'm looking after Mastercard's global go-to-market efforts in crypto.
All right, and now we just caught you straight out of the panel discussion. That was perhaps one of the most interesting discussions so far today. Tell me, what's the key takeaway that you take from the discussion that you had on stage with some of the other panelists about stablecoins, tokenization, and blockchain?
So I just left my panel, and I have to say, just the composition of the panel is quite representative of where the industry. We had Zürcher Kantonalbank on the panel, we had Citibank on the panel, we had Bybit, one of the leading global exchanges, on the panel, and somebody from the Danish regulator. Together we discussed what the future of digital money looks like, be it stablecoins or CBDC. And I think that the most interesting part of that discussion is really that the future holds so many options. And at Mastercard, we've been dealing with payment innovations for the longest time, right? Our mission statement has to enable safe, simple, secure payments for the last 50, 60 odd years. Mm-hmm. And now that technology emerges, the options are just out there. And we want to explore this with banks, with fintechs, and want to make that accessible for consumers and merchants in a very safe, compliant, and sustainable manner.
Fantastic. Now, Christian, one of the themes that we hear very, very strongly here this year at Nordic FinTech Week is this whole discussion about stablecoins and CBDCs. Now, on stage, that discussion came up. What's your take on the whole stablecoin, the readiness for consumers and for banks and for the overall ecosystem to participate in the stablecoin sort of trend that we're seeing at the moment when it comes to alternative coins?
So when it comes to stablecoins, I think the really interesting part is that we are looking at the digitization of money, because a lot of the services that run, that payments run on, that banking runs on, basically are still kind of very almost analog services, right? And whether it's stablecoins or CBDCs or other tokens, there will be, or there's the opportunity to do all of these things now in real time. And I think that is very interesting, and it helps money flow more easily. Things can work 24/7, and I think that's a very exciting thing.
Yeah, now it's also great to see Mastercard here represented at Nordic FinTech Week, seeing so many of your colleagues also taking the stage. What's your main hope for the event? What is it that you expect from being here, part of Nordic FinTech Week?
I think the main hope, or the biggest expectation for us, is to meet interesting partners, whether it's banks, fintechs, crypto players, companies engaging in stablecoins. As the industry is so dynamic, it's really the best place to just come together, listen to panels, just have a conversation over coffee and exchange perspectives, because there's so many ways to look at the digitization of money, the next big thing in payment. And for sure, Mastercard has a very strong view, but we really appreciate the opportunity to immerse ourselves in the industry, learn from partners, bounce off new ideas to find the next most convenient, secure payment technology.
Indeed. Well, exciting times, and thank you so much for taking time to speak to us, and I wish you a fantastic event.
Thanks for having me.